which is really kind of funny because the jail and the courthouse are right there on the same property.
Just
And
walk
all you'd
across.
have to do is walk right across the street and you're there. But sort of reminds me of the old days here back when we used to do videos, everything via video. All right, let's see. All right, let me get appearances for the record, beginning with the state.
Hafi Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
And Brian Wynn, Your Honor, on behalf of the Office of Public Defender.
All right. And, sir, you want to step up there to the microphone?
Yes.
Tell me your name.
David Sanugas.
Bananas Bird is mental health now.
Okay, so, Canellis Cadillac Bird, I guess it'd be set for maybe try tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did you pronounce your last name, sir?
Nugas.
No guess?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see what we got here. There's a failure to appear, indicating you failed to appear on a, looks like a misdemeanor marijuana charge back on, isn't today July 15th? Says he failed to appear today. Oh, no, I see it's reset to July 15th. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe it was another day. Yeah, the 14th. Sunday? Really? Okay, looks like he was supposed to appear and he didn't appear. Anyway, the charge is, it's a misdemeanor possession of marijuana. Do you understand the charge?
Yeah, I don't remember when I caught it though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I might be able to tell you that.
All right.
Your Honor, the state conveyed an offer this morning of adjudication credit for time served.
Adjudication and credit for time served. Let's see.
Mr. Wynn, does he want, does he have a valid license?
So this had to be yesterday
Does he have
during
a valid
duty,
license?
and he didn't come up here because of behavior. And the court
Oh.
issued capias for failure to appear. Interesting.
Or what, Willis?
So, how much time served does he have?
It's
Any
Jackie.
idea?
Would
Um,
you be willing to give a withhold
came in about
anyway?
3-4 days ago.
Yes, Willis has been,
On my fault.
Huh? So we got about 3 days? Well, it's time served either way. So the state is offering to resolve the case with an adjudication of guilt and then credit for time served, and then their court costs and a fee for the cost of prosecution that would be assessed. And those I'd give you 180 days to pay. Now, what you need to understand is an adjudication, even on a misdemeanor marijuana charge, will hit your record as a drug conviction, and you lose your driving privilege. I don't know, how long is it now, counsel, do you know?
1 year.
1 year? Okay. So in addition to everything else, it would go on your record as a conviction, not just any conviction, either a drug conviction, and you would also lose your driving privilege for 1 year, once the state of Florida is notified. You understand all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And at present, you are not represented by counsel. Now I see, it says you failed to appear for arraignment. Oh, that was the 1st of May, 2018. So the failure to appear goes back to May 1st, 2018? Yeah. So you have some options.
I'm gonna take it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You understand the consequences, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Huh? Wait,
I don't think we were appointed.
so apparently you have a hold right now for Lake County as well.
Yeah.
All right.
That I
Okay,
know.
now, You've signed a plea form. You ever read one of these?
Yeah.
When you read it, did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
You have any questions about it?
No, sir.
Understand it lists all the rights that you're giving up by entering a plea to this charge?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what plea are you gonna enter to the charge?
No contest?
All right. Now, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol right now?
Not at all.
Have you consumed any drugs or alcohol within the last 24 hours?
No, sir.
Do you suffer from any mental or emotional disabilities?
No, I don't.
All right. Not being treated by any kind of a mental health professional presently?
No, I'm not.
All right. You understand that by proceeding with the plea, you're proceeding without benefit of counsel?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe it's in your best interest to do that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right, well then, I'll find your plea is free and voluntary. I'll accept the plea. Is there anything you want to tell me about yourself or the case?
Excuse me?
Anything you want to tell me about yourself or the case?
No, sir.
All right, sir, then I'll accept your plea of no contest. Find that the plea is free and voluntary, that you made a knowing waiver of your right to counsel in the case. Direct that you be adjudicated guilty of the charge, sentenced to time served here, which means now you'll be able to go back to Lake County, take care of that matter. Order that you pay court costs and the cost of prosecution. Are there any other costs that I'm missing there?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And I'll give you 180 days to pay those in full.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All righty.
You're welcome, sir. Good morning. What's your name?
Nicole and Mr. Kelly.
All right, Ms. McKelly. Just a minute. Not happening, huh? There we go. Okay, the charge that you're here on is a trespass on property after warning. Do you understand that charge?
Kinda, sir.
Okay. Then I see you have filled out an affidavit and you qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll go ahead and do that at this time.
Your Honor, the offer is adjudication credit for time served of 2 days, no return.
Okay, time served, money, no return. All right, counsel, any idea how your client would like to proceed with that offer?
Just a moment to discuss, Your
All right.
Honor.
This has been a hot summer, hasn't it? And the humidity is crazy, isn't it? Goodness gracious. I did some mowing yesterday. I think I lost 14 pounds while I was mowing. None of it from the right places, you know? By the way, she's out on bond on a battery case, which if she resolves this case today, well, I mean, either way, based on the nature of the charge, I'm not going to disturb that in any way.
And, Your Honor, the defendant would like to accept the plea and enter plea of no contest.
All right, Ms. McKelly, have you ever read one of those plea forms?
Sometimes it changed, sir, so that's why I asked the questions I asked.
Okay, I don't think it's changed.
No, sometimes they change when they see me
Right.
and they treat me.
They changed the plea form when they
Yes,
see
sir.
you?
That's why I'm here.
Okay. This one that I'm looking at that you signed, has pretty much been around for the entire time that I've been a judge,
That's what I'm saying,
with
sir.
no changes, so you,
Yeah.
it's probably older than you are. It could be. Well, do you feel like you understand what's on the plea form?
Complete.
Do you have any questions about it?
That's why I said, sir, sometimes it changes.
But do you have any questions about it
No, sir.
now, after you've talked to your attorney?
No, after I talk to you, no, sir.
Huh?
After I talk to you, no, sir.
Okay, well, after you've talked to me and your attorney,
No,
do you have any
sir.
questions about this plea
No,
form?
sir.
Okay. Now, are you entering the plea because you believe it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you understand that by entering the plea, the agreed-upon disposition is an adjudication of guilt. You'll be sentenced to time served, ordered to pay court costs, and then there's a $50 fee for the cost of prosecution and a $50 fee for your attorney services.
Instantly.
Yep. You understand all that?
Yes.
Any questions about that?
No, sir.
What I'll do with that is make it all due and payable within 180 days.
You charge my dad.
And you can see the clerk and talk about getting yourself into a version of collections court that the clerk's office runs, where you can pay it off over a longer period of time. Do you understand that? Okay. Now, any questions at all about any of that?
No, sir.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna accept your plea. Your plea is gonna be what? No contest?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll accept that plea, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to time served, order that you pay court costs, cost of prosecution, and the $50 fee for your attorney services. All of that I'll make due and payable within 180 days. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And no action on the case she's out on bond. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Todd Andrews, sir.
All right, Mr. Andrews, I love it when they give you a word that's got 28 letters in it. You're charged with possession of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, which is easier to say than what they've got you down here for. You're charged with possession of tetrahydrocannabinoids.
CBD.
Yeah, you understand that?
CBD oil, sir, yes.
Your Honor, that was the,
That's the technical name for CBD?
That's the technical name for it, sir.
we had a
What
probable,
what you, oh, you're talking, counsel, I thought
Yeah.
it was him. Okay, go ahead.
we had a probable cause challenge to that.
All right. He's also charged with open container.
Right.
So the probable cause challenge is as to the tetrahydrocannabinoids?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's see.
I believe it's based on having a medical marijuana card.
Okay, give me your probable cause argument.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on the fact in the affidavit that he does possess a medical marijuana card under the Florida Constitution, if a person's been diagnosed with any of the specific ailments that are treatable with marijuana, they are allowed to possess the marijuana or the, I guess, the tetrahydrocannabinol. So we would argue that he was in lawful possession of the tetrahydrocannabinols. The officer knew he was in lawful possession of the tetrahydrocannabinols by being on notice that he had the medical marijuana card.
Do you have the card with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's been confirmed that he has a card?
State has not confirmed that, Your Your Honor. I just
Oh,
have-
it's in the affidavit of arrest that card was presented to him.
It does say that he had a medical marijuana. I think the officer makes a distinction in that he has no prescription on the label of what he was using. It'd be like having a pill of any opioid and just having the pill and not having the actual prescription bottle with you. That person will be arrested as well, and that'd be a motion to suppress and not a PC challenge.
Where does it say in there that he had,
I believe it's
he showed the card to the officer?
I believe it's it's the last sentence of the first paragraph. I believe, Your Honor.
It says form, but it should have said from. I'm guessing it's a typo.
Form, the white male identified himself to me as Todd Andrews. It says form his medical marijuana card. I guess it means from. Okay, so he had a medical marijuana card. The state makes a pretty valid point, the point being it's in a bottle with no prescription label on it. So there's no, there's that missing.
Right.
That being that it was a prescription for him and not something that he obtained from an illegal or illicit source. So I agree with the state that it's not a PC argument at this point, but rather a motion to suppress.
Okay, Your Honor.
And so I will find probable cause for the charge. And then there's the open container charge as well.
If he wants to resolve the open container, we'll do an adjudication credit for time served.
Yeah. So he's got that. I don't know if you want to do that at this point.
I'll discuss
Okay,
that with
go right ahead. I've slowed down in my old age, have you noticed? Yeah. Well, with a day like that. Can't really, it's not like weekend duty, you know, that stack over here. Feel like we gotta run the whole time.
And Your Honor, he would like to resolve the open container, and he'll enter a plea of no contest with regards to that. And with regards to the possession of the tetrahydrocannabinols, we'd request an ROR on that, if the state has no objection.
Well, I don't see any history of failing to appear on him.
State would not agree to a ROR on a felony on this, but we would have notice of PTR if he filed.
PTR? So, split the baby on that one?
Um,
Call it a PTR?
Yes, Your Honor, we're okay with the PTR.
All right, so, Mr. Andrews, as to the open container charge, you're gonna enter a plea to that one, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What plea are you gonna enter, sir?
Guilty. No
Alright.
contest.
And you read this plea form?
One I just signed?
Yeah.
No, sir.
You ever read one?
Have I ever read one?
Yeah.
I'm sure I have.
Well, take a look at it, make sure you've read it before. See if it rings any bells for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you feel like you're familiar with that plea form?
I can do that.
You feel like you understand what it says? Ah,
It says that, yes, I do understand what it
okay.
says.
Do you have any questions about it?
No, sir.
All right. Satisfied with the services of your attorney in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything you want to tell me about yourself for the case?
Just that on the prescription thing that we're talking about,
Right.
you, okay, never mind, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
sir.
you probably don't want to talk about
Okay,
that.
I'm sorry, sir.
Your Honor,
We're just talking about the open container thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
So anything you want to tell me about that?
No, I did it.
Okay. Nothing like cleansing the soul here at First Appearances.
Can't say that I didn't do it.
Counsel, did you have something else?
I was going to rate Your Honor with regards to the pretrial release, being that he does have a medical marijuana card, and we would ask that with regards to the pretrial conditions that he be allowed, because I think they do a random urinalysis, that he be allowed to, if it were to fail for THC,
Right.
that he wouldn't be violated on that condition.
Well, I think all he has to do is show his medical marijuana card, a valid medical marijuana card, to the pretrial release folks, And then, of course, they couldn't violate it
Okay.
on the THC conditions.
Okay.
Or any other prescriptions he has.
Okay. I just, so make sure you bring that up too.
So, but I'll note that for the record and have the clerk put it in the record that he, if he does indeed have a valid medical marijuana card, that a pretrial release should be aware of that, and doesn't sound like he should be violated for any THC testing positive. All right, Mr. Andrews, I'm gonna accept your plea on the open container charge, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to time served, order you to pay court costs, cost of prosecution, there's a $50 fee for your attorney. I'll give you 180 days to pay those. If and when you resolve the other case, if you resolve it with some kind of a plea, make sure you tell the court at that time that you paid court costs on the open container charge so that potentially no more court costs will be assessed on the other charge. Now, as to the other charge, I'm going to direct that you be released pre-trial release. And that, of course, has some conditions that go along with it, all of which will be explained to you, be given a big, long list of stuff, but it'll get you out of here without a bond.
Thank you very much.
All right, good luck. You know, I had something happen last week that I knew eventually would happen, doing this senior judge thing. I was scheduled to work 3 days up in Seminole County, and they sent me the dates, and it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so that the judges up there could go to the conference. And so I show up on Monday morning, and who do I meet in the parking lot when I'm parking but the judge I'm there to cover for? And I said, interesting that we're both here. And she was kind of happy and said, hey, I'll take the day off. And we went upstairs and discovered that the JA had inadvertently sent in the dates of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, meaning Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So here I'm standing in Seminole County with basically nothing to do. I kind of hung around. One of the judges, they pick all their juries on Monday for the week.
Yeah.
And one of them was talking about having 4 juries he had to pick that day. So I was going to hang around and help him out, but turned out that everything pled. But I knew that eventually I was going to show up somewhere,
And not mean
and they were going to say, why are you here? Well,
I just wanted to come
okay.
down and visit.
Yeah, I just came by to check out all this art you got in here. So, good morning, sir. What's your name?
My name is Arthur Lee Green.
All right, Mr. Green.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm alive. I'm all right.
I'm alive too. That's the way I felt this morning when I got up. You're charged with disorderly conduct, sir. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
All right. Looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll do that. So as to the charge of disorderly conduct, I do find probable cause for that. Want to resolve that one, State?
Yes, I gave an offer of adjudication credit for time served of 2 days.
You have a chance to talk to your client about that one, counsel?
I'm going to.
He's 3 or 4 steps ahead of you there.
And yes, Your Honor, he does want to enter a plea of no contest.
All right, so Mr. Green, you're going to enter a plea of no contest to that charge?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe it's in your best interest to do that?
Yes, I do.
You understand that by entering the plea, you waive your right to have a trial in the case?
Yes, sir.
You ever read one of these plea forms, sir?
I have, sir.
And do you understand what's on it?
Yes, I do.
Any questions about it?
Yes, sir.
You know, that's a list of your rights, many of which you give up or
Yes, sir.
waive by entering the plea.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sir, anything you'd like to tell me about yourself or the case?
Sir?
Anything you want to tell me about yourself or the case?
On that time, sir, you know, I got no illegal crime, and I asked up for money, and they brought me to jail for disorder of conduct.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, then I'll accept your plea of no contest, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to time served. There are court costs, there's a cost of prosecution, as well as a $50 fee for your attorney. all of which I'll make due and payable within 180 days, sir.
Okay.
Good luck to you, Mr. Gray.
Thank you, sir.
It's on Crystal, but that's not Crystal.
So what's your name?
Louis Aparicio, Your Honor.
Person of the day is mental health, Your Honor.
Mental health on Crystal.
Randall Tran is also mental health.
Also mental health. You say Mark Vasquez?
Mark Vasquez is refusing.
Refusing. That's always a little disappointing if somebody refuses to come up. Yeah, so, I see about that. Okay. Maxwell Anthony,
He's mental health also.
mental health. Goodness. Y'all set it up this way on purpose because I was coming out here? You did, didn't you? Want to make life easy on me. You said Louis Aparicio.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you are, let's see what we got here. Charged with aggravated assault with a weapon, criminal mischief, and petty theft. Now, those first two counts are felonies. The third count, the petty theft, is a misdemeanor. Do you understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
And all of it is domestically related. So, having reviewed the affidavit, sir, I do find probable cause for the charges. And it looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll appoint the PD to represent you. So, state, care to be heard on bonds in this case?
We're fine with bonds being set as they are. We ask for no contact, no return, no weapons, separate residences.
All right. How about it, counselor? You want to be heard on bonds?
One moment to.
Sure.
Your Honor, we are okay with the bonds as set.
All right. Okay, we'll start off with the bonds as listed. 3,500 is to count one, 150 is to count two, 100 is to count three. Now, in addition to the bonds, sir, I'm going to order that you're to have no contact with the victim or victims as a condition of release. You're to maintain a separate residence from the victim or victims as an additional condition of release. You're to have no weapons on or about your person
Okay.
as a condition of release. You're to consume no alcohol, no drugs not prescribed for you by your own physician as an additional condition of release. Now, does that pretty well cover everything you're requesting, State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel?
Yes, we're okay.
All right. So, thank you, sir. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Yes, please, sir.
There you go. And there you go. You are so fast with this stuff. My goodness. I heard this morning on NPR that Key West is being invaded by those lizards. I forget what they call them.
Iguanas.
Iguanas?
Iguana, yeah, I should remember that. And that they're hiring a contractor to come in every week or so and take out 20 or 30 of them at a time.
You wanna get a second job?
You know, I know somebody I live with that would take that job.
Just go down
Would
and-
go down there and catch those things all day long.
Yeah.
But apparently, they're just
Everywhere.
everywhere. In Key West, imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, I can understand up near the Glades, up in Miami, up in that area, but down in Key West,
Somebody brought them in and they just,
yeah.
They said they were having a problem up in like like Miami as well, Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale area with them. It's
Mhm.
interesting.
Especially, remember when it got cold, they had the freeze?
Oh yeah.
And they kept falling from the trees because whatever
yeah,
their
I remember
temperature
that.
is.
Well,
Yeah.
what they're doing, they said they're asking people to either humanely kill them if they find them on their property, or the ones that this trapper's catching, they're sending up north to a place where it gets too cold for them to survive in the wild, and then people can adopt them as pets, or they can use them now. This was their words, they can use them as zoo food.
Ah, well,
So I guess that's that stuff they grind up and say it in a little cup. You know, as you're walking around the zoo, you're eating little pieces of iguana. You think? It said zoo food.
well, I'm thinking they were seeing like let a boa constrictor just eat it for lunch.
Oh, my wife is watching a show right now about these guys. I said, not just guys. It's both genders that are out in the Everglades, and all they do all day, every day, is go out there and catch boas.
Yeah.
And they'll catch like a 16-foot boa. Is that big around? And they're trying to break a record of some sort for the biggest boa, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess they kill them on the spot.
It's a,
Yeah.
it's a lucrative business down there, I think.
It's an invasive species.
Yeah.
Now, they get paid by the foot, depending on how big the snake is.
Not my cup of tea.
See, that's another one that I live with somebody that
You wanna
would
go do that?
job
Yeah,
right
I don't do snakes or reptiles. I'm not.
there. And see, I'm married to the original snake lady. At one time, we have a loft in our house, and there were 30-some-odd snakes up there.
Nope, I moved. You can have the whole house. You can just-
When
just-
people would come to visit, people eventually quit coming to my house at all,
You come
which
to
it works for me. And they'd be sitting there on the couch, and somebody would mention that all them snakes were upstairs.
Yeah.
No, thank you. You can-
Eat.
And these people are like looking up at like this. And they're going, right up there? And we go, yeah, right up there. It's kind of like snakes on a plane, except it's snakes in the loft.
Yeah.
And they would just sort of quietly excuse themselves and go get in their car and go home.
Hey,
Yeah, I'd be one of those.
You
Thank
gotta-
you guys for the invite. I'm gonna see you
yeah, you gotta
next
be.
time at my house.
You gotta be careful when they start extending themselves full length next to you because they're trying to judge whether or not they can fit you in their body
Now,
to eat you.
These were mostly corn snakes and
Yeah.
rat snakes and the ball pythons, stuff like that.
Yeah, nothing.
They wouldn't bite. I mean, occasionally they might bite something, but even then it didn't hurt that much. What was eerie about it was they would escape. Snakes are great at escaping.
Yeah.
And you would, like, I walked into the downstairs bathroom one night, and I wasn't even gonna turn on the light. I know that place. I don't need light. And something just said, turn on the light. So I reached over and I hit the switch, and there's one curled up on the rug right in front of the john. So I would have basically been standing right on the top of it. I mean, it was a corn snake, so
Right.
wasn't gonna hurt anybody, but,
That's what you say. I mean, it may have hurt me as I tripped trying to get out of the bathroom.
well, yeah, I mean, if you were afraid of me, I just said, come here, get this snake. But my daughter killed a 7-foot rattlesnake right off our porch out there.
Nope.
In fact, I was working here when it happened. She called me and told me there was a big rattlesnake in the yard. And I asked her how big it was, and she said 3 or 4 feet. And by the time I got home, it was laying on the concrete where they had stretched it out over there. And she had gone in the house and got a .22 and was out there shooting it. And she thought she was missing it because she kept seeing dirt fly out. She was hitting it because
Going
we
right
counted
through.
18 holes in it after we got it up on the porch. And I still have that snake's head in a jar at home,
No, no
which
thank
I
you.
intend to bring over here next time I'm over here.
No, thank you. You
I'm
don't
gonna
have
bring it over here, come in here early, set it right there on your table.
Just show us. You don't have to
Picture?
bring.
It's a new,
It's an
new-
ugly looking thing too.
got
Big
a
old
new
mouth.
movie,
Yeah.
Snakes in the Jail.
Yeah, they'd probably shoot me if I brought that over here. I don't wanna be shot. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Andre Fairley.
How about Jesus Manuel Crespo?
He's been here.
Okay. And, let's see, Andre Tolley Faley?
Fairley.
Fairley.
Yeah, they spelled my
It's
name wrong.
misspelled here, isn't it? Win Fairley. Ever heard of that? No? My daughter was in a play when she was in grammar school. I think the name of it was Win Fairley. Long time ago. What do we got? Some failures to appear. Says you failed to appear in Division 16 back on May the 15th for trial. You had 3 counts: battery on a Leo, resisting without violence, providing false ID to law enforcement officer. Now, the court in Division 16 has ordered you held no bond on the failures to appear.
Sir.
I assume you had an attorney in that case?
Yes, sir. I was out of town working. What they came up.
PD? Okay, you had the public defender. So you can talk to counsel here, but as far as a bond or anything of that nature, you're gonna have to see the court in Division 16 to talk about that.
Yes, sir.
So if you have any questions, you can ask the attorney. It's good to be back here. Just feels like I came home. Home at the jail. How about that? That's something. Morning, sir. What's your name?
Francisco Gonzalez.
Francisco Ramon Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, you are here on a driving while license suspended charge. It's alleged that you have at least 2 prior convictions for that. So you've been charged with a felony. And you got a $2,500 bond, but it also says that he qualifies for PTR. Any thoughts on that, State?
Your Honor, we did have a probable cause challenge to this
Okay.
affidavit. By the words of the affidavit, the police report, the police officer states, another officer advised the officer that drafted the affidavit that she observed the defendant sitting in the driver's seat. He was never observed actually driving the vehicle. Based off of that language, we'd argue that there's no probable cause for the arrest.
Let's see, this is, yeah, I don't see anything in there that would even rise to the level of actual physical control. There's no indication that the vehicle was operative, that the keys were in the ignition, or that he had the ability to do anything other than sit.
No, just the ROR, Your Honor.
So, ROR?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I agree. There is a lack of probable cause in the affidavit, so I'm gonna direct that you be released on your own recognizance. Now, don't get too excited about that, because I'm gonna appoint the public defender for you, but the state's gonna take a look at this and probably ask the officer for some sort of supplemental report to determine if there is probable cause. And then, more than likely, what the state will do if they think there is they'll file an information charging you with this offense. So make sure you keep a good address on file with the clerk,
Yes, ma'am.
so that they'll know where to contact you, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so, thank you, sir. Good luck. I'm probably driving the court reporters crazy with my spastic scanning there. Let's see, good morning, sir. What's your name?
Donald McKissill, sir.
Mr. McKiskill, you are charged with trespass on a designated construction site and obstruction of traffic to solicit without a permit. So you got 1 felony and 1 misdemeanor. I do find probable cause for the charges, and you do qualify for the public defender, sir.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to have the public defender appointed to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll do that. And the bonds presently are set at $1,000 on the trespass charge. $250 on the other one?
No objection to 100.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that seemed like an odd number.
Your Honor, we request a $250 bond on the trespass on the designated construction site.
Well, I think that's charged as a felony, isn't it?
Correct, Your Honor.
He's got one failure to appear from 1993. So, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll set the bond on the trespass charge at 500, and we'll make it $100 on the soliciting charge. No return to that particular location, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck. And good morning, sir. What's your name?
My name is Jose Alamo.
It's Jose A. Alamo Perez.
Yes.
Well, let's see what we got here. There's a capias charging you with dealing in stolen property, receiving money from a pawnbroker by false verification. That capias sets the bonds at $1,500 for each count. Also orders that you're to have no contact directly or indirectly with any victims, co-defendants, or witnesses, that you're not to return to the scene of the offense, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. And moving right along. Okay, I see additional charges: possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, possession cocaine, possession cannabis, more than 20 grams, possession cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Bonds are $15,000 as to count one. Should be $150 each as to counts 2, 3, and 4, and $100 as to count 5. And looks like you qualify for the public defender. Do you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir?
Sure. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll go ahead and appoint the PD to represent you. I see a good-sized affidavit in here talking about Seminole County having had some part in this investigation. Okay. Well. It also says here he qualifies for PTR. So he's got no Florida history, no out-of-state history.
We would request PTR.
So, State, what are your thoughts?
Believe in the court's discretion.
My discretion, eh? Yeah, I like my discretion. This is the only place I get my discretion. I don't get it at home. So, yeah, with no history, I think PTR is probably appropriate. So we'll call it PTR on the various counts.
On various counts,
Now-
but the counts in the warrant, those bonds will remain set as is.
Yeah, the warrant bonds remain set. As to the affidavit, the arrest affidavit, it'll be PTR. Now, you understand, sir, with PTR, you're gonna be monitored as, on release. That includes drug testing, checking in, all that sort of thing. So, okay, and I've appointed a PD for you. If you have any questions, ask your lawyer. Good luck. Morning, sir. Your name?
Brian Plant, Jr.
Plant?
Yes.
Reckon your folks were ever tempted to name you Robert?
No.
No?
I know. Everybody asked me that though.
I bet they do. Yeah. Somebody told me they ran into him the other day. Where were they at? They were in line somewhere, and they suddenly noticed he was standing in line right in front of them. And whoever it was tried to do a selfie that showed Robert Plant standing near him. And it was somewhere where they got real nervous about the fact that he was doing that. And I guess almost arrested him for trying to take a picture of somebody. Well, Mr. Plant, you're charged with grand theft, third-degree motor vehicle, driving while license suspended, and leaving a scene of a crash with property damage. I see the odd bond amounts, but also see that he's got a Pennsylvania address, so that makes the bond amounts normal, I suspect. And having reviewed the affidavit, I do find probable cause. It appears that you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, please.
All right, sir, I'll appoint the PD to represent you. Your bonds are set at $2,000 as to count 1, $200 each as to counts 2 and 3. And good luck, sir. Morning, sir.
Morning.
What's your name?
Rayshon Richardson.
Mr. Richardson, you are charged with grand theft, third-degree motor vehicle. Do find probable cause for that charge. And then you got a failure to appear on a possession of cocaine charge. That was for a trial management conference on July the 3rd. That's in Division 12. That court ordered you held no bond on the failure to appear. And you also got charged with driving while your license was suspended or revoked. Now, you do qualify for the public defender, sir. Would you like for me to appoint the PD for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. As to the grand theft, third-degree motor vehicle bond is $1,000. The failure to appear, unfortunately, is no bond. You'll have to see the court in Division 12 to talk about whether you're going to get a bond there. And I'll set your bond on the driving while license suspended at $100, sir. Good luck. Okay, let's see, your name, sir.
Felix Santo.
Mr. Santos, you are charged with petty theft with at least 2 prior convictions. That case is in Division 16. You do qualify for the public defender, sir. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
All right, I'll do that. Your bond is $1,000 on the petty theft. It's charged as a felony. You're ordered not to return to the Walmart located at 5734 South Orange Blossom Trail as a condition of release. Good luck. Morning, sir. Your name?
Jason Smith.
Mr. Smith. Y'all remember Mr. Clark used to come through here all the time? I saw him last Friday. He eventually accepted, well, you remember, I used to always try to talk him into going to Veterans Court. He wouldn't do it. But he did finally, well, he came through that one time and asked me to sentence him to the maximum, and that's when the help began. And he got into an assisted living facility. I say he got into this lovely lady, in every sense of the word, came and sort of rescued him from here. And she got him into an assisted living facility up north of here, and got him hooked back up with a VA, new teeth, medical assistance, I mean, all kinds of stuff. And then the first time I saw him after that, he looked like a different man. And Friday, I went and visited him in the one he's in currently. He looks like a normal, healthy 74-year-old man. Big old belly on him, looked like Santa Claus. So he's obviously eating well and doing really well, just as happy as a clam.
There you go.
Entertained me and my oldest daughter for about an hour and a half, talking about Vietnam and his experiences. And he even sang to us. I couldn't believe it when he burst out into song. You know the song I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash? I think that's the name of it. Well, he started singing that, and he told us what the origins of that song was. Apparently him and Johnny Cash were both in the Air Force at the same time. They were both stationed in North Dakota, and both of them had the job of guarding the B-52s, which involved walking back and forth on a red line to make sure nobody got near those B-52s. And Johnny Cash, as a result of doing that, wrote that song, I Walk the Line.
Oh, wow.
And so Mr. Clark burst out into song. Yeah, where's this stuff come from? He burst into song. That guy had a great voice. We were more than a little captivated by what a great voice he had. But happy, you wouldn't know. If he came through here, you'd say that's not the Mr. Clark that used to get arrested and come through here all the time. Kind of incredible, actually. Made me feel really good. Something worked, you know.
Right.
Occasionally.
You'd have liked him. I don't think you ever met Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark.
He always came in, pled to time served, and left. Till that last trip he came in, and then it was something different at that point. Let's see, Mr. Smith, you're charged with trespass on a designated construction site, soliciting without a permit, and providing false ID to a law enforcement officer. Do you understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
All right, looks like you qualify for the public defender, sir. Would you like me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I'll do that. Bonds are currently set at $1,000 as to count one, $100 each as to counts 2 and 3. So, let's see. TL14 exit. OBT and I-4, I see. Okay. Well, I do find probable cause for the charges. And he's got a kind of a healthy history of failing to appear, so I'm not really inclined to lower those bonds at all.
Okay.
We'll leave him set right there. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Morning, sir. What's your name?
Duarte Forbes.
Okay, I've got a Merton Benjamin Kerr.
He's mental health guy.
All right. Okay. All right, you said Duarte Forbes?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Forbes, you are charged with criminal mischief and petty theft. And then I see you're out on a no valid DL charge, out on bond on that. Now, you qualify for the public defender, Mr. Forbes. Would you like for me to appoint the PD to represent you?
Yes.
All right. I'll appoint the PD to represent you. Oh, what the heck. Bonds are 500 on count one, 100 is to count two. And, I know this place. Yeah, it's that Walmart out on East Colonial. So no return to the Walmart at 11250 East Colonial Drive
Okay.
as a condition of release. But are these pleables?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay. So bonds are 500 is to count one, 100 is to count two. No return to that Walmart store,
Yeah.
all right? And I've appointed the PD for you.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, no action on the, when he's out of bond. You're so quiet. You've always been quiet like that. Are you that way all the time or just here? Every day. So when you yell at your kids, it's like a whisper? I bet they like that.
Somehow I don't believe that, Ms. Payne. I don't believe any parent yelling at their kids is a whisper.
So,
Sorry.
you know, you think about it as a kid, what you didn't want your parents to do was to talk to you in a real low voice, because you knew what was coming next. There was a tsunami right behind that low voice, and it was gonna get you.
Oh, Mr. Teal, I have a adjudication credit for time served.
Let's see, is this Mr. Teal?
Yes, sir.
What's your full name, Mr. Teal?
James Gibbony Teal.
Okay.
I go by
Well, Mr. Teal, you're charged with possession of drug paraphernalia and soliciting without a permit. Both are misdemeanors. You do qualify for the public defender. Would you like me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll do that. So you said you had something else on Mr. Teal?
No, so the offer was adjudication credit for time served.
Both counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Credit for 2 days.
Did I tell y'all last time I was here that we adopted a donkey? No? I didn't tell you that? I'm
No,
surprised.
no, no. I think I
Everybody,
would have remembered that.
everybody should own a donkey.
And
I'm
Your
telling
Honor,
you, even if you live in an apartment, you should adopt a donkey.
It's hard sell.
You know, there's an organization
That was
that
not.
you can adopt donkeys through.
I believe that.
It's broken.
You can go out and look at them, decide which donkey you want, pay a little fee, and take the donkey home with you that day.
Yeah, I don't foresee a donkey being in my life.
No, one day, when you decide to settle down and quit living this wild lifestyle that you're living right now.
Clearly, clearly.
And then you're gonna wanna have a donkey.
I don't think my HOA would allow that.
Well, I mean, you'll have to probably do some manipulating with your HOA.
See, yeah.
But, you know, donkeys are incredibly protective of their space. We were having trouble with a bobcat coming through our back pasture. And every time it came through, it helped himself to a chicken dinner. And I finally saw him one day walking out of the pasture with a chicken dinner. He wasn't even hurrying, he was strolling with his big old chicken in his mouth. And so I didn't really want to shoot the bobcat. But we got this donkey, we haven't had a bit of problem with that bobcat since, because the donkey won't tolerate anything in his pasture, other than the horse.
I don't plan to have a chicken or donkey, so I'm pretty confident that.
You might change, though, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Life could do that to you. So, Mr. Teal, I take it you're gonna enter a plea to those two charges?
Yes, sir.
What plea are you entering, sir?
No contest.
All right. And you read this plea form?
Yes, sir.
Feel like you understand what it said?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about it, sir?
No, sir.
Satisfied with the services of your attorney?
1,000%.
What'd you say?
1,000%.
1,000%. There you go.
New number.
Counsel. You need to get that on your resume.
yeah.
Put that on there.
I'll think about it.
Get him to sign an affidavit or something.
Hey, you're right.
Yeah. So, anything you want to tell me about yourself or the case, sir?
I mean, I've never been in this situation before, so I have no idea what to, what to tell you. So,
It's kind of hot to be out on the street right now, isn't it?
yes, sir.
Very hot.
Yes, sir, it is.
And the humidity is crazy.
Right. And the thing is that I chose to be there. It's a really weird story. But,
Well, there are ways to sort of work your way out of that. You a veteran by any chance?
no, sir. No, sir.
You don't have to be a veteran to get help, but
No, sir. About 6 months ago, ran a successful business. I got diagnosed with cancer and I quit life. So I'm not saying it was the best decision, but it was a decision I made.
yeah. Well, so you're not getting any treatment for the cancer or anything?
No, sir.
Well, you're an adult, you get to make your own decision,
Right.
but it can't all change. You just make the decision to turn it around.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Start working your way back.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll accept your plea as to both counts, adjudicate you guilty as to both counts, sentence you to time served concurrent as to the 2 counts. He has no prior state. According to what I'm looking at.
I'll do withhold, Your Honor.
Withhold, okay, so withhold rather than an adjudication, which simply means it doesn't go on your record as convictions.
1,000%. Again.
It's a little bit of help, not much, but a little.
Yes, sir.
And there's court cost of prosecution, and $50 fee for your attorney. I'm gonna have that reduced to a civil judgment. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Your name, sir?
Jerome Daniels.
Mr. Daniels, you are, got a few things going on here. You got an out-of-county warrant. Polk County. And apparently Polk County wants you held at no bond. Or maybe it's Brevard County. A BOP on a grand theft. No bond yet. But you've also got a hold for Polk County. According to the paperwork. And you're on state probation, so everything says no bond. Understand?
Yes, yes, sir.
You have any questions?
No.
You understand that as far as a lawyer is concerned, you're gonna need to get it at that location rather than this location?
Already paid for one already.
Okay, well, any questions you have, probably at this point, good idea to direct them to your attorney.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Huh? Jonathan Torres Gutierrez, is that a DOC? Oh, he did? Courtroom too? Okay. And Christopher Robert Cooper, same thing, I suppose. Well, there you go.
All right.
That was nice and easy.
Yeah, it was a fairly not.
The interpreter's right here, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Dalia Romero, for the record. I'm doing great. How are you? I'm fighting a little bit of a cold, so it's good that I'm over here and not spreading germs there. Yeah, one of those things. Uh-oh. Well, thank you, Your Honor. I'll try to keep the cough away. Oh, you don't want to see me right now. I look as bad as I sound. Oh, no, no. It- I tell you, if you get to see me, you might get the germs. So I would be. Yes, I have a little nephew. He's 14 months old, and a niece, she's 5, and they've been spreading this. You know, at this age, the little ones just catch everything, and I had them over the weekend, so it was bound to happen. Yes. They started out not wanting to give him the shots, and then they were like, oh, no, we really have to do this. It's a precaution that they had to. Especially since the 5-year-old is in school, and she's exposed to all of these things, and the younger one is just not good. Not a problem. Thank you, Your Honor.
Turn on the machine here. We are on. Okay. So, is that the phone ringing?
The court reporter saying they can't hear you, I'm sure.
If that was my phone ringing, I could guess it was somebody trying to get me to refinance my mortgage.
Or your credit cards, or.
Oh, good night. I left Seminole County one day last week, and before I was off the property up there, I had a call from somebody wanting me to refinance my mortgage. And I said, you know, I'm not interested. And then they get real pushy about it. So I hung up. I didn't get 3 blocks down the street, and I got a call from somebody else wanting me to refinance my mortgage. I said, first of all, what makes you think I got a mortgage?
Step 1.
And they're like, well, everybody has a mortgage. It's America. I said, not everybody.
Not everybody. Yeah. No.
So, anyway, okay, so I'm ready. If y'all are ready.
I'm ready.
All right. I
This-
take it you're ready too, or you wouldn't be here.
This is our intern, Chelsea Walker. She's here.
You know, one thing about interns, they don't have to have names. You can just always refer to them as the intern.
The intern. No, we like to.
It saves you
call
the
them
trouble of remembering their name.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's get the outfit on this gentleman. All right, let's see if he can hear you, Madam Interpreter.
He can, Your Honor.
Oh, he can? All right, so, sir, tell me what your name is.
Kevin Cotto Rolon.
Kevin Cotto Rolon.
All right, Mr. Cato, you are charged with aggravated assault with a firearm, and then you're also charged with battery. Do you understand what you're charged with, sir?
Yes.
All right, I see that you filled out an affidavit for the public defender, and that affidavit indicates that you do meet the criteria for appointment of the public defender. So, would it be your desire at this time for me to appoint the public defender for you?
Yes.
All right. I've read the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charges. By the way, counsel, this case is assigned in Division 17. As to the aggravated assault with a firearm, state, do you wish to be heard on the issue of bond?
That's for a $5,000 bond, Your Honor. No contact. No contact with the victim. Maintain separate residences. No weapons, no firearms, no drugs, no alcohol.
Now, counsel, did you wish to be
Okay.
heard?
Yes, Your Honor. We request a $3,500 bond with regards to the count 1 and count 2 to be treated as subsidiary.
Your, now, where are you arriving at that figure of 3,500?
I didn't take it from the bond schedule, but I felt that that would be a reasonable bond, given.
Yeah, he's got no criminal history. So the request for a lower bond, I'm gonna take into consideration. And I'm comfortable with the figure of 3,500, so I'll set the bond at 3,500 on count one. Count two will be a $100 bond. Now, Mr. Cato, you're gonna be ordered to have no contact with the victim in this case. You're gonna be ordered to have no weapons on or about your person or in your possession or that you have access to as a condition of release. You're to consume no alcohol, no drugs, not prescribed for you by your own physician. And because I doubt very seriously that you're ever gonna take up residence with the tow truck driver, I won't worry about the no residence order. So do you understand all that?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you, translator.
Okay, your bond is 3,500 on count one. $100 is to count two. You're to have no contact with the victim, which was the tow truck driver in this case. You're to have no weapons on or about your person or that you have access to as a condition of release. You're to consume no alcohol, no drugs not prescribed for you by your own physician. Now, do you understand that, sir?
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, it's okay.
All right, any questions you have now should be directed to your attorney. That'd be okay. What is it? Maybe well, it's a 2017 case. In jail arraignment, it said. Maybe never showed up for arraignment. Okay. Okay, so he's got no bond.
I'll try and move it away because maybe that's why he couldn't hear.
You want that case number, Madam Interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Let me see that file. It is 2019 CF 10035.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Now, the next case number is, where is the case number? 2017 CT 4681. And tell me your name, sir.
Jorge Luis Suarez.
All right, Mr. Suarez, you're before the court on a charge of DUI, that is driving under the influence. Do you understand that?
I understand it perfectly.
Okay. Looks like the Office of the Public Defender has already been appointed to represent you. So you understand that for now, that gentleman standing next to you is your attorney? Okay, and I'm trying to figure out, looking at this, Looks like your bond got revoked. You originally did one, then you had a fail, one day you had a failure to appear, where you picked up 3 more days, and then your bond got revoked on 6/23. So you've got 24 days there for a total of 28 days on the DUI. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Counsel, have you had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Suarez about how he might like to plead to this charge?
I have not, and I think as it stands right now, the state hasn't relayed an offer in the case. And I'm not sure whether or not Your Honor would be willing to entertain a plea to the court. I could discuss that with him, but as it stands right now, we don't have an offer from the state.
Okay.
And we were prepared to enter a plea of not guilty.
All right. Well, the case is assigned in Division 61. So let me get you a pretrial date on that. Division 61. Who is that? That's Judge Johnson. Pretrial conference looks like it's set for August 12th. And that's going to be at 8:30.
Am I not able to resolve this right now, here?
You're going to need some time to talk to your lawyer before you decide to resolve it, which you really haven't had today, to make sure it's in your best interest to resolve it now. So what your lawyer can do, among other things for you, if resolving it is possible, probably set up an earlier plea date with Division 61 and get you to plea it out a little earlier than August the 12th. Good luck.
What was the courtroom for his
6C. Thank you, sir. This chair's gonna be the death of me. I'm gonna flip over backwards in a minute. All right, this next case number, Madam Interpreter, is, let's see. 2019 CF 10043. And counsel, this case is in Division 22. And what is your name, sir?
Nelson Perez Velasquez.
Mr. Perez, you are charged with criminal mischief, and that's charged as a felony based on the amount of damage that's alleged to have been done. Then you're also charged with a misdemeanor battery charge. Now, do you understand what you're charged with?
I don't have anything to do with that case.
Do you understand the charges that I just read to you, sir? When did y'all move the interpreter cases back over here? Just on Monday? Is that the way we were doing it before? Oh, wait a minute. Been gone a while.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you do qualify for the public defender, so I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Your bonds are gonna be set at $1,000 on count one, $150 as to count two. You're gonna be ordered not to return to 17 Dottie Street. As a condition of release. You're to have no contact with the victim, in this case, which is Kayla Myers, Myres. You're to have no weapons on or about your person. You're to consume no alcohol and no drugs not prescribed for you by your own physician. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
All right. Now, let me just say for the record, I have more than a little bit of concern that there might be mental health issues here, based on the allegations, based on what I've seen in front of me today. So, might not be a bad idea to start thinking in terms of an evaluation. All right. Okay, now, if you have any questions, sir, you're gonna wanna ask your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir.
Your Honor, would you be willing to qualify him for mental health, or order mental health pretrial release?
Well, here's my concern about that. Based on the allegations and, again, what I've seen here today, it occurred to me, I have to tell you that, but it would be helpful to know a little bit more about him before discussing mental health pretrial release, so that this or whoever happens to be sitting here at that time could kind of figure out what conditions would be appropriate under the circumstances.
Okay.
I have no problem with him being evaluated for mental health pretrial release, but I'm not authorizing his release on that just yet.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Ese es el número de teléfono a llamar.
No. All right, the next case number is 19 CF 10059. And what is your name, sir?
Eleazar Chance Sanchez.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, you are charged with battery, which is alleged to be a domestic battery, second count, which is alleged to be a dating violence battery, and tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement. Do you understand those charges, sir?
Yes.
All right, you filled out an affidavit for the public defender, but the clerk has determined that you do not meet indigency status. So therefore, I cannot appoint the public defender for you today. You might want to consider taking a real hard look at the affidavit, because among other things, it asks you if you have any dependents, and on here, it's answered 0, and it sounds like you might have a dependent or two. So if you decide to refill this affidavit out, the court can revisit and reconsider whether or not you qualify for the public defender. Now, so let me find out, what's your, do you need the interpreter, ma'am?
Señora, ¿usted necesita intérprete también?
Sí, no hablo inglés.
Yes, I do not speak English.
All right, tell me your name.
I'm sorry, counsel, can you repeat that for the interpreter?
Yeah, just, huh? Did I say it too fast? Am I talking too fast? Oh, I just need to know what her name is, Madam Interpreter.
Por favor, dígame su nombre completo.
Sandra Milena Cernacia Toma.
Sandra Milena Cernacia Thomas.
All right. Well, you are one of the victims named in this affidavit.
Usted es una de las víctimas que se ha mencionado en esta declaración jurada o affidavit.
And if I read this correctly, the other victim is your daughter?
Y si leo esto correctamente, la otra víctima es su hija.
Sí, sí, señor.
Yes, yes, sir.
How old is your daughter?
¿Qué edad tiene su hija?
17.
17.
Is she here with you today?
¿Ella se encuentra aquí con usted en el día de hoy?
Sí,
Does she
Yes.
speak English?
¿Y ella habla inglés?
no muy bien.
No very well.
Not very well, okay. All right, so as the victim, you have a right to talk to me about what you would like to see me order in this case.
Como víctima, usted tiene el derecho de dejarme saber a mí qué es lo que usted quiere que ocurra en este caso aquí en el día de hoy.
Ok. La verdad, yo nunca había tenido ningún problema con él. Él es muy buen ser humano, muy buen esposo. Lamentablemente toma algo, entonces ese es el problema cuando toma bebidas alcohólicas. Yo quiero que él regrese a mi casa, pues tengo un hijo. ¿Eso qué? Es que
Un momento. The truth is, I never had any problems with him. He's a very good human being, a very good husband. The issue is that he does drink, and where he drinks, there's becomes a problem. I do want him to come back home because we have one. Porque tenemos. Ahí dejo, señora.
Sí.
Continúe.
Gracias. Tengo un hijo de 8 años que sufre de diabetes tipo 1 y él ha sido el padre para este niño y lamentablemente nunca nos había sucedido esto, de tener esta clase de agresión. Yo quiero que nos manden alguna terapia para poder solucionar los inconvenientes con mis hijos, él y yo.
Okay, un momento, por favor. Yes, I do have an 8-year-old son at home who suffers from diabetes type 1, and he's been a father for my child. We never had this issue before of aggression, so I am asking for him to be allowed to come back home so we can go to some type of therapy as a family.
What you need is for me to see to it that he doesn't drink, right?
Lo que usted necesita de mí es asegurarme que él no bebe, ¿correcto?
Yes.
Yes.
I can do that.
Yo puedo lograr eso.
Se lo agradezco de corazón.
I would thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
So what you want is for there to be no fighting, correct?
Lo que usted no quiere es que hayan peleas, ¿verdad?
No, educo 2 niños de 17 y 8 años y quiero que ellos sean productivos para una sociedad. El ejemplo de mis hijos es él. No quiero que él haga eso, los eduque con amor.
Un momento. No, I do have a 17 and an 8-year-old that I am preparing to be good people in society. And he is the example that, he's the one to give them an example, and I do not want that at all.
So no fighting, no drinking.
No peleas ni puede beber.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I forget the name of the device. What's it called?
Scram.
Scram?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Says here,
Your Honor, state would inquire of the 17-year-old is old enough to speak for herself.
well, she is, but she is a minor. Mom can speak for her.
The
but-
problem state would have is if we would ask for no contact with the 17-year-old, if we do not hear from the 17-year-old.
Okay. Then let's bring your daughter in the box.
Señora, ¿quieren que su hija entre para hablar con ella?
Sí. Está en el parqueadero, ¿puedo salir a llamarla?
She's in the parking lot. Can I go and get her? She's outside in the parking.
Oh, she is? Yeah, I need you to bring her upstairs so we can talk
Sí,
to her.
necesito que la traiga para acá, para poder hablar nosotros con ella.
Es ok, ¿puedo salir?
It's okay, can I leave?
Sure,
Yes.
Claro.
Moment, please.
it's all right.
Prosiga.
Well, so we're gonna need this gentleman to sort of chill somewhere while we wait for the other victim to come up. Things got real serious around here about that one at a time in the courtroom thing, huh? I noticed that this morning. I didn't say anything, but I guess kind of makes sense. Okay, the next case number, Madam Interpreter, is 2019 MM 5906. And what is your name, sir?
José Amílcar Quintana González. José Amílcar Quintana González.
José Amilcar Quintana González.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, you are charged with battery. It's charged as a misdemeanor battery. It's also delineated a domestic battery. I've reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charge. I've also reviewed the financial affidavit that you filled out, and it appears that you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, I'll appoint the PD. And,
May state inquire of the victim.
sure,
Ma'am, do you speak English or do you need an interpreter?
Yeah, I need to.
Madam Interpreter, can you translate for the victim?
Sure can.
Can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Díganos su nombre y deletree el apellido para las actas, por favor.
Jennifer Rodriguez.
Jennifer Rodriguez.
Are you afraid of Mr. Gonzalez?
¿Le tiene temor usted al señor González?
No.
No.
Would you like contact with him while this case is pending?
¿Usted quiere tener contacto con él en lo que este caso está pendiente?
Bueno, la realidad es que sí debo tener contacto con él. Es el papá de mi bebé. Yo estoy embarazada. Yo
The reality is that I should have contact with him. He is the father of my child. I am pregnant.
Did he know you were pregnant at the time of the incident?
¿Él sabía que usted estaba embarazada en el momento del incidente?
Sí.
Yes.
Were drugs or alcohol related to this incident?
¿Drogas o alcohol tuvieron algo que ver en este incidente?
No.
No.
Do the two of you live together?
¿Ustedes dos viven juntos?
Sí.
Yes.
Would you like to continue to live together while this case is pending?
¿Usted quiere continuar a vivir junta con él mientras este caso está pendiente?
Realmente yo no tengo interés en hacerle obviamente nada negativo a él. Yo lo único que obviamente le pido que él siga con su tratamiento y tomando sus pastillas para o sea, su condición que ya tiene prescrita.
Okay. I don't want anything negative for him. I just want him to continue with his treatment and taking the pills that he has already been prescribed for his condition.
Is he prescribed mental health related drugs?
A él le han recetado medicinas relacionadas con salud mental. Yes.
If something happened in the future, would you feel comfortable in calling the police or 911?
Si algo volviera a ocurrir en el futuro, ¿usted se sentiría cómoda llamando al 911 o a la policía?
¿Me puedes repetir como en qué sentido?
Can you repeat in what way?
If he got violent or physically violent with you in the future, would you feel comfortable in calling the police or 911?
Si él se pusiera violento físicamente contra usted en el futuro, si usted estaría dispuesta o va a poder llamar al 911 o a la policía.
Sí, todo sea obviamente cuando él no se toma sus medicamentos está en esa condición, pero de lo contrario pues todo está bien.
Well, everything, yes. When he's not taking the medication, well, this is the condition, but otherwise everything is fine.
If the defendant was released without having to post a bond and was released on the pretrial services, would you have an objection to that?
Si a él acusado le permitieran salir bajo el programa de libertad preventiva sin tener que pagar una fianza, ¿usted estaría de acuerdo con esto?
Sí.
Yes.
State request PTR, Your Honor, no hostile contact with the victim, to take all meds as prescribed.
La fiscal está recomendando el programa de libertad preventiva, que no tenga contacto hostil con la víctima y que se continúe a tomar todos sus medicamentos.
And I'm sorry, no weapons and firearms as well.
Y no puede poseer armas, ningún tipo de municiones.
So any objection to the terms of release that the state has requested, counsel?
We have no objection, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to authorize your release, pretrial release. Now, you're going to have conditions, some of which I won't talk about, but pretrial release will explain to you before you leave this place. The ones that I'm going to tell you about are you are to have no hostile contact with Ms. Chacon, who's the victim in this case, that you're to consume no alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed for you by your own doctor, and you're specifically ordered to take those medications prescribed for you by your doctor as the doctor orders. You're to have no weapons on or about your person as a condition of release, sir. Now, do you understand all that?
Sí, eso, señor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so, ma'am, here's what I'm ordering. Need you to jump in on that one, Madam Interpreter.
Madam Interpreter, you're speaking.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all right, it's all right. You're not feeling well, I understand.
Esto es lo que le estoy ordenando, señora, a él.
I'm ordering that he be released, pretrial release,
Yo estoy ordenando que él quede libre bajo el programa de libertad preventiva,
that he's to have no hostile contact with you,
pero él no puede tener contacto hostil con usted.
Okay.
That he's to take all medications that are ordered by his doctor as the doctor orders they be taken.
Se le está ordenando a que se tome todos los medicamentos según el doctor le ha recetado.
That other than that, he's to have no alcohol or drugs not prescribed for him by his doctor.
Y aparte de eso, él no puede consumir drogas o alcohol a menos que hayan sido recetadas por su médico.
That he's to have no weapons on or about his person as conditions of release.
Y no puede poseer o tener armas consigo o a su alrededor como condición de libertad.
So, do you understand all that?
Yeah.
¿Entiende usted todo esto?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, then good luck.
Bien,
Thank you.
buena suerte.
You're welcome. Good luck, sir. Thank you. Now, I believe we have that young lady with her daughter back out there.
Okay, the case number again, Your Honor. 19, and then? No, on Salazar, the one recalling, felony.
Yeah, it's 19 CF 10059.
Thank you.
So, tell me your name, young lady, and we'll need the interpreter for this too, Madam Interpreter.
Joven, díganos su nombre, por favor.
Karen Dayan Rocha Serna.
Karen Dayan Rocha Cerno.
Serna.
Do you know why you're here?
¿Sabe usted por qué está aquí en el día de hoy?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
All right. Your mother told us earlier that she wanted this gentleman to be allowed to come home.
Su madre nos dijo anteriormente que ella quería que este hombre se le permitiera regresar a la casa.
And what we needed to do was to make sure he wasn't drinking when he came home.
Y lo que teníamos que hacer era asegurarnos de que él no está bebiendo cuando regrese a la casa.
You're a victim here too, and so you have a right to tell me what you think about that.
Usted está listada aquí como una víctima también y usted tiene el derecho de decirme qué piensa usted de todo esto.
Está bien. Pues yo quiero retirar como los cargos. Quiero que esté en la casa con mi mamá nuevamente, con la condición de que él no beba más y se porte como debe ser, que no beba más.
I want to withdraw the charges and I want him to come home to with my mother with the condition that he no longer drinks, just that he doesn't drink anymore.
Y también que le den como una ayuda, no sé si puede hacer terapias para que él deje de beber o terapias psicológicas contra el alcohol. So es lo único que pido.
And I'm asking for some help with some therapy so that he stops drinking. And that's the only thing that I ask, therapy.
Well, I have a device that I can order that he wear that will tell us if he's...
I'm sorry, Your Honor. You're very far away from the microphone.
Well, wow. Sorry.
Thank you.
Fell over for a second.
Sorry.
I have something that I can do that will help you with that.
Yo tengo algo que yo puedo hacer que le puede ayudar con eso.
Sí, con tal de que él siga las condiciones, yo le retiro los cargos.
Yes, as long as he follows this condition, I withdraw the charges.
And if he doesn't follow the condition, would you be willing to call the police or 911 and let them know he was drinking?
Y si él no cumple con las condiciones, ¿usted estaría dispuesta a llamar a la policía al 911 y dejarle saber
Sí, señor.
si está tomando?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Bien.
Ultimately, on the issue of drinking, a person has to want to stop. In order to stop,
En cuestión de, por último, la cuestión de dejar de tomar, la persona tiene que querer dejar de tomar y beber.
so maybe if I help him not drink for a while, then he'll want to stop.
Así que a lo mejor yo ordenando de que él no beba o tome por un tiempo, a lo mejor a eso le crea a él el deseo de no querer beber.
All right, thank you.
Ok, entiendo.
Gracias. I understand.
All right, now, State, here's what I'm thinking. PTR with no hostile contact with either victim, no alcohol, no drugs, scram as a condition of release, so we can monitor him not drinking or drugging, no weapons on or about his person, and as a condition of pretrial release, because I am mindful of what that young lady just told me, that he be required to attend 2 AA meetings a week and show proof to PTR that he's doing that as an additional condition of release. So,
State is agreeable with that, Your Honor.
okay. Now, sir, did you hear what I just said?
Yes.
Okay. They seem to care about you a whole lot, and they just want you not to drink. Because they seem to think you're a pretty good guy when you don't drink. And you're a turkey buzzard when you do drink. A dangerous turkey buzzard. I had another word in mind, but being as how the public is listening, I decided not to use it. So I'm going to release you, pretrial release. Now you're ordered not to drink, and no drugs not prescribed for you by your own physician. And I'm going to make you wear the scram device for a while, because that'll tell us if you are drinking or drugging. You're to have no hostile contact with either one of those victims, no fighting. You feel anger, you leave, you don't stay. And you're to have no weapons on or about your person. They seem like good people, and you got an 8-year-old there too that's depending on you. Nobody can depend on you if you're getting drunk. So you're also going to be required to attend 2 AA meetings a week and show proof to pretrial release that you're doing that. When you go to an AA meeting, you can get somebody to sign a piece of paper saying you were there. You tell them it's court ordered, show them that scram device, and they'll sign a piece of paper for you. You find the AA meeting. Understand? All right. You're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
have to refill out that affidavit or talk to a private attorney in this case. And good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next case number is 2019 MM5893.
Does the defendant not need an interpreter? As the victim?
Okay, only the victim is going to need one here. So tell me your name, sir.
Juan J. Sanabria, sir.
All right. You're charged with battery. It's alleged to be a domestic battery. It's a misdemeanor. And let's see, it looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you, sir?
Yes, sir.
I'll do that. All right, now, what is your name, ma'am?
Señora, su nombre, por favor.
Milaila Díaz.
Milaila Díaz.
Ms. Nieves, you're the victim in this case. Do you understand?
Señora Díaz, usted es la víctima en este caso, ¿entendido?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. So, one of the things we're going to talk about today is whether or not Mr. Sanabria is going to be able to have contact with you.
Una de las cosas que vamos a hablar aquí en el día de hoy es saber si el señor Sanabria se le va a permitir tener contacto con usted.
Sí.
Yes.
What do you think about contact between yourself and him?
¿Qué piensa usted en cuanto a permitírsele tener contacto entre ustedes?
Que regrese conmigo a la casa y precisamente mañana tenemos que hacer un viaje para Puerto Rico.
For him to come back home. And tomorrow, precisely tomorrow, we are traveling to Puerto Rico.
So you want him to come back and live in the home with you?
¿Usted quiere que él regrese a vivir con usted en la casa?
Sí. Él
Yes.
fue nuestro primer problema. Creo que no va a haber ningún otro problema.
Yes, this is the first problem that we've had. I don't believe we are going to have any other problems.
Okay. He also qualifies for what's called pretrial release, which is a non-monetary form of release. What do you think about that?
Él también es elegible para salir bajo un programa de libertad preventiva donde pues no requiere una cantidad monetaria para permitírsele salir de la cárcel. ¿Qué piensa usted de eso?
Es que no sé mucho de esa ley. No sé si me pueden explicar.
I don't know much about this law, so I don't know. Can you explain that?
Sure. He can be released. I could give him a bond that he would have to put up money to get out of jail.
Yo le puedo dar una fianza a él y él tendría que pagar una cantidad de dinero para poder salir de la cárcel.
Or I can release him under this program called pretrial release, which doesn't involve money.
O yo le puedo permitir a él salir bajo este programa que se llama Pretrial Release o Libertad Preventiva, donde si él participa del programa no tiene que pagar una cantidad monetaria para salir.
Under the pretrial release program, he would have conditions that would be monitored by that program to make sure he was complying with them.
Bajo el programa de libertad preventiva, él puede salir, pero va a haber unas condiciones que él tiene que reportarse y cumplir, y ellos van a estar pendientes para asegurarse que él cumple con esas condiciones de libertad.
But you as the victim have to agree with that type of release in order for me to give it to you.
Para yo poder permitirle a él salir bajo el programa de libertad preventiva, usted como la víctima tendría que estar de acuerdo con eso.
Ok, lo que pasa es que él viene y va. Él va a Puerto Rico, regresa. O sea, en sí, todavía no estamos como definidos en vivir todavía juntos como tal. Sí, mañana tenemos que ir a Puerto Rico. Ay, yo no sé si... Yo pues, no tengo el dinero, pero sí, yo quiero que él esté conmigo.
Okay, un momento. The issue is he comes and goes to Puerto Rico. He comes back and we're not settled yet as far as living together, but I do want him to live with me, even though I do not have the money to pay for him to get out. But I do want him to be able to live with me.
Well, you're not really saying whether you agree or disagree with the pretrial release program.
Usted no está diciendo que está en contra o a favor de que quede en libertad bajo el programa de libertad preventiva.
Es que, bueno, pues está bien que sea preventivo.
Well, it's okay for the pretrial program.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell me?
¿Alguna otra cosa que me quiera decir?
No, solamente que él puede viajar, ¿verdad? Sí podemos viajar mañana.
No, I just want to know, he's able to travel, right? Would he be able to travel tomorrow?
If I authorize him to travel, he can travel.
Si yo le doy autorización y permiso, él va a poder viajar.
And I'll authorize him to travel.
Y yo le voy a autorizar, le voy a permitir viajar.
Ay, muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
De nada.
Okay, so state, I'm thinking PTR, no hostile contact, no drugs or alcohol, not prescribed for you by your own physician, no weapons on or about your person.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna put on the paperwork so PTR can see it, that the court has been made aware of the fact that you're going to travel tomorrow to Puerto Rico, and that I'm authorizing you to do that,
Thank you, sir.
okay?
When
Yes,
is he
sir.
planning to return?
When do you plan to return from Puerto Rico?
She have like
25, 26.
she have like 2 weeks off, and we're planning to like in 2 weeks we was planning to come back.
So you'll be gone for 2 weeks?
His
If
first
if you
meeting would
if you let me, yes, sir.
Your Honor, I believe the victim said this, they're returning on the 6th.
When?
The 6th.
Señor, ¿usted dijo que regresan el día 6 o el 26?
No, no. Todavía, lo que pasa es que todavía no tenemos pasajes para regresar. Yo pensaba más o menos como para el 26 o 27. No me puedo tardar más de esa fecha, 26 o 27.
The issue is that we don't have a return flight, but I was thinking about coming back on the 26th or 27th, none further than that.
Of July?
Yes.
De julio,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not a travel agent,
Bien, yo no soy agente de viajes.
so this is all pretty new to me, but that works for me. And he can check in by phone while he's in Puerto Rico.
Él se puede reportar por teléfono mientras está en Puerto Rico, aunque todo esto es un poco nuevo para mí.
What's the issue with that gonna be?
Because of the charge, he has to do office visits, so I can make his first visit July the 31st.
There we go. Okay. So you gotta be
Tiene
back
que
by
ir
July
en persona.
31st,
Thank you, sir.
because you're gonna have a visit with PTR here,
Thank you, sir.
okay? All right, anything else, State?
No, Your Honor.
Counsel? Good luck to you, sir, thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a great afternoon.
Are you doing Arabic today, too?
No, but I do believe we have an Arabic in the building,
Seriously? This building or your building?
in our building.
All
There
right.
was a hearing set for this afternoon that ended up canceling, so she was already
I have
retained
this-
for that.
I have this incredibly favorite Arabic interpreter. Is it my favorite Arabic interpreter by any
I don't,
chance?
I think I know who you're talking about, Anita.
Yes.
We have Suat here today.
Okay, I'm not disappointed.
They're
Much.
beautiful people, both of them.
They
So,
are really.
Your Honor, I'm going to disconnect and I'll have her connect from the other podium.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oh, Madam Interpreter,
Yes?
the Arabic defendant is not going to be here today
Uh-oh.
because there's some issues.
Okay.
So,
No guarantee we can get one for tomorrow, but
Okay.
I'll let them know.
thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, Your Honor. You have a good afternoon.
You too, I hope you feel better.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodness, what a disappointment that was. Okay, so no Arabic today. Yeah, none today. A little too much? All right, well. That's only slightly crushing to my spirit. Sitting all through lunch thinking the Arabic interpreter was coming to see us today. And I find out the Arabic interpreter's up there in that other place. Huh. So what's your name, sir?
Orlando Candelaria, sir.
Mr. Candelaria, you are charged with something that has a traffic ticket associated with it. That would be grand theft, third degree of motor vehicle, and driving while license suspended or revoked. Case is in Division 10. You appear to qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the PD for you?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And Your Honor, we had a probable cause challenge with regards to the affidavit. the affidavit pretty much says, or the officer who swore in the affidavit, he just arrived on the scene for a traffic stop. There is no information as to whether or not the defendant was driving the car or not, whether or whatever his involvement was with regards to the vehicle.
It is kind of skimpy, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor. And that was the probable cause challenge with regards to the affidavit. It's just a little bare.
I'm gonna try to respond to this intelligently, because it is tricky, I agree. There's not much there, but there's circumstantial evidence in the affidavit that Mr. Candelaria was driving the vehicle, the statement for a traffic stop on a stolen vehicle. And, you know, you can make an argument that that's not sufficient, but I think it's sufficient to get past probable cause. So I'm gonna, having read it, I do find probable cause. I appreciate the argument, though. Anything that makes me think is a good thing.
Right, yeah.
Very close to
In an
dimension.
effort to get a little bit more information out of the.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be more information forthcoming eventually.
Right.
Right now, it's skimpy at best, but it's just enough. So, the bond is $1,000 on the stolen vehicle charge, and, it's gonna be $100 on the driving while license suspended. And I did say I appointed the PD for him, didn't I? So, I think we're good with that. Any questions you have, you wanna direct them to your attorney, sir? You know, I had something similar to that in an infraction case not long ago, where there was actually a fatality in the infraction case. And identity of the driver being as critical as it is was a real question in the case. And I listened to the argument of the attorney, and I kept thinking, there's something there that you're not grasping. But it was sort of eluding me for a few minutes, and then finally I went, I know what it is. And it was circumstantially showing that the individual who was cited was in fact the driver of the vehicle, although nobody could actually put him behind the wheel. It was challenging in an infraction of all things.
They had you working today.
Oh yeah, it made me think. I had to wake up, totally. I could no longer snore. There you go, Mandy. Did I get them both? See, my signature hasn't lessened. It's still readable. All right, what's your name, sir?
Nandy Fernandez.
All right, Mr. Fernandez, you are being held on 2 charges. One's burglary of a structure. The other is petty theft. Cases are in Division 14. And it appears that you qualify for the public defender service. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll do that at this time. Now, I do find probable cause for both the charges, and I know there are at least 2 people in this room right now who like this particular establishment. And I'm not gonna let anybody hold that against you. So your bond is $3,500 on the burglary charge. It'll be $100 on the petty theft charge. You're not to have any contact with your co-defendant as a condition of release, and you're not returned to 100 West Livingston Street. That will be the Ace Cafe as a condition of your release. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions you have, direct them to your attorney. You ever been there, Ace Cafe? We have.
Yeah,
I kinda like that place.
I like the place.
I keep telling my youngest that she needs to come down one day with me to the downtown court so I can take her over there for lunch.
One of my friend's husbands did the flooring. He has a flooring company.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ever want to just grab one of those bikes that's in there and down the street you go?
Never had that feeling.
Probably feel the same way about the bikes as you do about the donkey, huh?
Yeah, I'm not a bike person.
My
My dad's
goodness.
had one. No.
One of these days, I'm gonna find something that you like.
I like a lot of things. Less dangerous though.
Not donkeys and not motorcycles.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Your Honor, would you be willing to reduce the bond to $1,900 on the count one in an effort for him to be able to meet the premium set by a bondsman?
It may be in a bond hearing. I don't think I'd reduce it now because he's not what you would call exactly connected with this community in a way that we could easily find him if he decided not to show up. Hello, what's your name?
Leticia Figueroa.
Miss Figueroa. The charge is a felony, actually, driving while license suspended or revoked with 2 prior convictions. So it's risen from misdemeanor to felony. Do find probable cause. This case is in Division 11, by the way, counsel. And it appears that you qualify for the public defender. The bond on this one is $2,500 per the bond schedule.
Yes, sir.
So,
She's out on the same charge, Your Honor.
is she?
Well, yeah, I've never been convicted. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Your Honor, I mean, the out on bond case, it stems from 2017. and-
Right, I'm not gonna do anything with it. I'll leave that one alone. That's not to guarantee that that court might not revoke, but
Yeah,
I'm not revoking, but your bond is $2,500. No driving without a valid driver's license.
I know, sir. I apologize. I actually turned myself in for that one because I was taking care of my mom out of
Yeah.
state, so my boyfriend was
Okay.
tired. Yes, I don't drive though. I don't drive. Just yeah. But this one's what's this? So what does it say?
Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Your name?
Shalia Jackson.
Well, Ms. Jackson, you're charged with carrying a concealed firearm. That case is in Division 16. That's a felony. You do qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
Yes, please.
I'll do that. Now, the bond on this one is also $2,500. And you're gonna be ordered to have no weapons on or about your person as a condition of release.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, based on the criminals, the defendant's criminal history, would you be willing to qualify her for PTR?
They would object based on the weapon.
Yeah, I'd have a problem with that. I mean, maybe if it's 1 gun, or even 2, I might be able to find my way to that. But 3 fully loaded automatics or semi-automatics?
Okay.
you- So State, I know something that you might like.
Okay.
You get Netflix?
I do.
There's a program on there with Woody Harrelson and who's the guy? You ever see that really bad movie called Waterworld? No. How about Dances with Wolves?
Yes.
Okay, who's the main character in Dances with Wolves? What the actor's name? Kevin Costner.
Okay.
So it's got Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson. It's Bonnie and Clyde, only it's called The Highwayman. And it's about the law enforcement guys that were basically hired to track them down.
Saw it. It's good. It's a good movie.
Excellent, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, you think of the old Warren Beatty, Faye Dunaway version of Bonnie and Clyde, which sort of glamorized them. Kind of made them seem almost like modern day Robin Hood's heroes, when in fact they were bloodthirsty killers. And that movie really points out just how naive and kind of stupid they were when it came to what they did and how they did it, and how they just didn't have a problem.
And they escaped by the skin of their teeth a few times.
Oh, absolutely, every time. But it's a really good movie.
It's a very good one. I saw that. I agree with you. I did like that one.
There you go. I knew we'd find something in common today. Okay, so anybody else that hadn't seen that gets Netflix, highly recommend it. The Highwayman. It kind of starts out slow, but as you see the effort and the time that were put into, and the way the politicians in Texas and around were playing with that whole thing, what their concerns were, you know, what was going to make them look good and look bad and all that sort of thing, while those two kids are just running all over the place, taking out people. It's really worth seeing. Highly recommend it. Let's see. What's your name, sir?
Kevin, Drew?
It's not Travis Johnson? Did he now? He bonded. Bonded. Bringing me up to Kevin Taru. All right, Mr. Taru, you are charged with aggravated assault with a firearm. That case is in Division 20. Looks like, yeah, there's my affidavit. You do qualify for the public defender. Do you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, the bond on that thing is, right now, it's no bond, but let's talk bond, State, based on the facts. What do you think?
$3,500 bond, Your Honor.
All right.
No
Counsel,
time.
care to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, we would request a $2,500 bond based on his, well, he has no conviction history, and with regards to the defendant, it would make it easier for him to make the bond.
It would. Gotta tell you, not real impressed with these facts. This whole scaring somebody like that. And, you know, I really thought you were gonna make a PC argument on the weapon, because no weapon was found, other than the flashlighter thing, which takes me to the point of he had plenty of time to do something with it in the event that he had one. I think $3,500 is a good bond. So I'm gonna make it $3,500. You're gonna be ordered to have no weapons on or about your person. That would be real and fake. And no contact with the victim or victims as a condition of release. And maybe a short class in common sense, if they had one. So, good luck. If you have questions, ask your attorney, sir. Oh, that division is 20. Who's that? 20. You know? You don't have to know. I'm just asking. All right. Andrew Walls, bonded. How about, what's your name there, sir?
Brian Woods.
All right, sir, you are charged with burglary of structure, possession of burglary tools, and petty theft. That case is in Division 12. Do you understand what you're charged with, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, it looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the PD for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll do that. Your bonds are $3,500 is to count one. $150 is to count 2, 100 is to count 3. no return to 100 West Livingston, specifically the Ace Cafe. You're to have no contact with your co-defendant, and I think that'll do it. Aha, Don Wesley bonded. Hello, step on up there. What's your name?
Alexandria Shelton.
Ma'am, you're being held on a out-of-county warrant, out of Polk County, on a
Yes.
driving while license suspended. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have a $250 bond. You understand? It means you can post bond here, or you can wait for Polk County to come and get you.
I understand.
Okay, any questions?
No,
Okay.
sir.
You understand, I can't appoint an attorney here for you. You have to wait till you get back to Polk County.
Okay.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. In the hospital. Got it. So, what say we run over to courtroom 2 and get all the cases they haven't done yet and bring them over here and do them? No? That means I have to go sooner. I'm not interested in going. I walked into my house the other day and my